This contributed to a bad cough and mucus on the lungs, which he said, "I'm just eliminating, don't worry." Famous last words. It's just detox. To honor Rob, we'll be having a big fruit party. I'm about to cry. I didn't think I was gonna cry, but yeah, he was like a grandpa to me, man.
Hello, this is Robert D. Lockhart coming to you from his island paradise in the Philippines. We've got to get back to what is optimal for the human body, and it's fruit. That is what we're designed to eat. That is what we thrive on.
Terribly sad news, and super unreal, like super unbelievable. When I heard about it yesterday, I didn't want to believe it. Rob is the guy that you'd think would live to be over 100 years old, easily.
What we have to do is get back to our normal, natural diet, what we're suited for, and that is a frugivorous type of diet. When we stray away from this diet, we pay the penalty. And we are seeing the penalty being paid in increased doctors' bills, health care, huge multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies telling the medical profession what to do. We have to get back to our normal natural diet. Otherwise, we pay the price. We'll develop chronic disease, as sure as eggs.
He seemed to be doing everything right on the outside. He was lean, he was healthy, he was fit, he was funny, he was very, very helpful. He was an idol to many, including myself. In fact, I was looking through my notes today earlier, and I saw that I wrote a list of all the people, all the mentors, all the idols of mine who I want to learn from the most in 2019, and Robert Lockhart was at the top of that list. I first met Rob back in 2011 at the Woodstock Fruit Fest, and ever since then, he was just a big, big role model for me, and I know he's a big role model for others as well. I want to be just as healthy as him when I was 75 years old, but now seeing how he died, I think it's avoidable, and I hope to live longer than 75 years old as well. But even if I die at 75, I hope to live as healthy and as fit as Rob did. Rob lived a really, really awesome life, the dream life in my opinion, but I definitely would have thought he'd live to be over 100. So what did he die from? People are speculating. Did he die from Fruitarianism? Did he die from an infection? Did he die from dry fasting? What was it? Was it just old age? Well, his wife made a post on Facebook clarifying it, and she said, "We'd like to clarify the chain of events that led to his body shutting down, as it wasn't just one thing. As you may or may not be aware, Rob has eaten only a raw food diet for 40 years. She says, over the last 10 years, he significantly decreased his intake of water, drinking only minimal coconut water or freshly squeezed juice, quoting that he got all of the water he needed from the high intake of mainly fruits he was eating."
Myself, I seldom drink water because I get all the living water from fresh raw fruits and vegetables, green leaf vegetables, and coconut, of course. Young coconut is probably the most ideal type of drink that you can drink because it contains all the living enzymes and nutrients necessary to sustain a healthy body.
In the last 5 years, he commenced dry fasting for periods of time, which meant no food or fluids, including water, for extended periods up to 48 hours.
It is dangerous for a person that has no experience with fasting, has no experience with detoxifying their body through living on raw living foods, to go into a dry fast. The reason is that the dry fast does act very aggressively in order to detoxify the system. In fact, one of the great pioneers, Arnold Ehret, said that the less water you drink during a fast, the more effective and the more efficient the fast is. But you've got to be aware of the weak links in your body. Your body has certain weak links, like any chain does. And if you've got a weaker organ, that organ could be overwhelmed by the toxins that are being released into the bloodstream, and that organ could shut down, and that would be life-threatening.
I remember he said he did a 50-hour flight one day, and he was traveling, and the flight attendants were looking at him like, "Why is this guy not eating or drinking anything?" And he thought that was pretty funny. They say he would also intermittently fast each day with no food or water for roughly 19 hours with a 5-hour eating window. I do that very similarly, but I drink water during my fasting period.
And the way to do it is gradually bring back the time of your last meal, okay? Maybe you're used to eating at about 7 o'clock at night, your last meal before you go to bed. Gradually bring that back to 6 o'clock over a period of a couple of months. Then keep on coming until you're getting back to 5 o'clock. Last meal at 5 o'clock in the day. And still eating the same raw food type of diet as you've been used to, because raw foods are the answer.
So I do a 4 to 6 hour eating window, but I drink plenty of water during that fasting period. Rob seemed to do it dry. The doctors believed this had done significant damage to his kidneys over the years, as scans and tests performed showed atrophy, scarring, and significantly reduced function. And this is what happens when you're chronically dehydrated. This doesn't come from intermittent fasting. This doesn't come from just eating fruit. This comes from being chronically dehydrated. Damages your kidneys. They say Rob's immune system was suffering, and he picked up a chest infection from a bacteria called melioidosis. This is found in the soil in tropical climates. Now, Rob was an avid planter of rare fruits and was constantly tending to his trees and orchard. This contributed to a bad cough and mucus on the lungs, which he said, "I'm just eliminating, don't worry." Famous last words. It's just detox. He then proceeded to do a dry fast of 72 hours with no food, no fluids, which pushed his body too far, which he admitted. So here he admitted that he shouldn't have done the 72-hour dry fast. In the subsequent weeks, he was quite debilitated. His kidneys started to shut down, which then meant he couldn't clear the fluids from his lungs, and his electrolyte balance was thrown out. Having a proper balance of electrolytes, including potassium, ensures the heart beats properly. Combined with his lungs not getting adequate oxygen due to the infection, which was later diagnosed as pneumonia, also put more pressure on his heart. After much coaxing, he reluctantly went to the hospital for treatment, as he was on the verge of complete kidney failure and a cardiac arrest at home. This again happens when you're severely dehydrated.
Most people, by the time they reach my age, are totally reliant on doctors. I don't want to be that way. I made a decision 45 years ago not to be that way. So what I'm doing now is just a reflection on that.
He accepted testing and treatment in hospital. Their quality care and respect for Robert was amazing and blessed us with another 2 weeks with him. Last Saturday, he suffered 2 massive cardiac arrests and was then placed on ICU on life support. We were all hoping he would recover. However, over the week, unfortunately, he didn't regain consciousness, although we believe he could hear us at times. There was no significant signs of neurological activity. His organs, including lungs, kidney, liver, and heart, continued to fail. In the last week, they had him on dialysis, a ventilator, and medication to keep his heart beating. This is so sad to read. If you know Rob, this dude was vibrant, this dude was full of vitality, this dude was super, super helpful. And again, he's the person that you'd expect to live to be over 100 years old easily. He's doing everything right, except, apparently way too much dry fasting, way too much dehydration. Out of respect for his wishes, we made a joint decision to let him go peacefully without being plugged into any machines or medications. It has been a very hard time. So I guess Rob said, if I'm ever on, if I'm ever plugged into a machine, just let me go. And they respected that. However, we believe he was, in the end, happy to be set free. We hope that everyone can respect him and his memory lovingly without judgment or blame. We'll have a celebration for him next Sunday at Trinity Park. If you'd like to come say your goodbyes, you're more than welcome. To honor Rob, we'll be having a big fruit party. I'm about to cry. We'll be having a big fruit party. No alcohol, please. Feel free to message Maya Robertson if you'd like any additional information. Much love from Maya, Tulani, and Rihanna. So, yeah, super sad. And I think, damn, I didn't think I was going to cry. But, yeah, he was like a grandpa to me, man. He's fucking dead. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. The fact that he was so healthy at age 75 and so fit and so vibrant, it's a testament to the power of raw foods. Like, the raw food diet is the ultimate diet for humans. I think dry fasting, between the time you're done eating dinner, so let's say 7 p.m., to the time you want to start exercising in the morning, like 7 a.m., that's fine. Do a 12-hour intermittent dry fast each day. what your body naturally does anyway. It's hard to even call it a dry fast because it's like saying that you're breatharian, while you sleep. It's just what your body does naturally. You just naturally just breathe. I don't think it's necessary to do conscious dry fasts, although I have experimented with one in the past. I did a 3-day dry fast in the past, and the idea of drinking water was so attractive for me. It's so attractive to drink water, naturally, super attractive. Even during the dry fast, I would take showers and jump in the lake, and I'd be like, wow, water is so good. I really wish I could drink water right now. So I did do a 3-day dry fast experiment, and what I learned from that was that the body loves water, and we don't need to refrain from drinking it. So yeah, the raw food diet, super, super healthy diet, kept Rob going long and strong for many years. He was an advocate for not overeating, which is why I think he was so lean, so skinny for most of his years. But intermittent dry fasting is totally fine. From the time you stop eating dinner at around 6, 7, 8 p.m., waking up, having a morning glass of water at 7 a.m., then going out for a walk, that's perfect. But don't think you need to do a full 24-hour dry fast or 48-hour dry fast to heal anything. Water fasting can do the trick more often than not. And if you need to, this is a huge takeaway that I need to make clear. If you need to, use the medical system. Take antibiotics, go get surgery, take the pain medication, whatever you need to do. Go use Western medicine. It's here to keep us alive. Friend George was telling me a story yesterday about how he had woke up with a big bug bite, or what seemed like a bug bite. He doesn't know if it was a spider bite or staph infection or what, but he woke up with a big bug bite on his neck, or a big bump on his neck. And he was at a fruit festival. I won't say which fruit festival he was at, but he was at a fruit festival, and the nurse said, "Oh, just put some ice on it." So he put some ice on it. He's like, "No, it does not any better." So then she put some mud on it, and then she put like a Band-Aid over it and said, "Here, like that clay should do the trick." And then he like washed off the clay a day later or something, and then it went back to where he's from. And when his aunt or his mom saw the big swelling on his neck, she took him to the hospital right away. And they went and did surgery on it, and they found that that big bump, they don't know what it was, either a spider bite or staph infection or something, but the bacteria had eaten a big hole in his neck, and had he not gone to the hospital, it could have kept eating away and got into a serious spot, which could have led to severe bleeding, and he could have bled to death just from not getting help at the hospital. So if you need hospital help, go get hospital help, and just know the body's going to detox any medication they put in you. Don't think that the medication in you is going to make you unpure for life. I know many people in the vegan fruitarian community, they want to be super, super pure. They only want to put in good things in their body, and that's great. It's great to be pure. It's great to put in good things in your body. But if it's necessary to go unpure for a bit to stay alive, go unpure. Take the medication, take the concoction, take the potion, take the pill, stay alive, and then go back and then eat a healthy diet afterwards, and go back and move your body and get plenty of sleep that way, and let your body detox how it naturally does. You don't need to force the body into detoxing. The body will naturally detox itself. That's super, super important to realize. I think Rob could have potentially, we don't know, but he could have survived this infection had he not done the dry fast, had he just got medical supervision right away. They said that he was quite reluctant to go to the hospital, but perhaps if he'd gotten the infection right away and went to the hospital right away, he could still be alive today. We don't know. It's hard to say. It's like people who get heart attacks. They're like, oh, if I had made it to the hospital 5 minutes earlier with my husband, maybe he could still be alive. Or maybe if I got the cancer treatment early enough, I could still be alive. Maybe if I got chemo early enough, I'd still be alive. Like I know a friend of mine got chemo, and he was like 20 years old or something. He got chemotherapy, and he came to live with me in Thailand. And for 30 days in Thailand, after he quit chemo, he came to Thailand with me. And we just detox all the chemo. So every day we're on fruit. We're on just fruits and vegetables and coconut water. And every morning he'd wake up and just hork up a bunch of nasty stuff in the bathroom. I could hear him upstairs having these long showers, just horking up all this nasty stuff. And as every day that went by, he horked up a little less. And by the last few days of the trip, instead of spending like 15 minutes horking up mucus from this chemotherapy he was detoxing, he'd only just hork up one little spit, done. So the body naturally can detox over the course of 30 days, big time. You just need to, get lots of sleep, get lots of water, get lots of good healthy food in you, and get lots of movement, and the body will do its thing. So rest in peace, Robert Lockhart. Unbelievable to say that. It's very hard to believe. I wish he was still here today, and it's going to be sad not seeing him in the future. But he taught me so much. So very, very grateful for that, man. And hopefully you learned something from his death. Hopefully we can all learn something from his death. And like they said here, if we can just all respect him and his loving memory without judgment or blame. That would be amazing. So that's it for all. That's it for now. Thank you so much. Peace out. Much love. And I'll see you all at the Canada Vegan Fest this coming summer, August 7th to the 10th. I wanted to invite Rob. I did invite Rob to that festival, but last summer he was busy with something else. So that's that. Anyways, ciao for now. Peace out. Much love.
So if you start young and don't leave it too late, then you've got every opportunity of leading a long and healthful life. Thank you very much.